अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज हम पाक 302 के मिड टर्म प्रिपरेशन के हवाले से शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स का पार्ट 2 जो है वो स्टार्ट करने लगे हैं। इसमें हम लेक्चर नंबर 9 से लेक्चर नंबर 15 तक कवर करेंगे और इसके साथ ही हमारे मिड टर्म की तमाम शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर जो है वो कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे। ठीक है, थोड़ी लेंदी है ये वीडियोस, लेकिन अगर आप वन गो में ना देख सकें, इसको पार्ट्स में करके देखें, लेकिन इनको जरूर अटेंड करें। इनसे ही आपका जो मिड टर्म है वो काफी हद तक अच्छा जो है वो अटेम्प्ट इंशाल्लाह ताला हो जाएगा। ठीक है, तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। व्हाट वाज द रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट ऑफ 1773? The Regulating Act of 1773 was the first law passed by British government to regulate the administration of India. What happened in the Declaration of Colonization in India, 1858? In 1858, the British Crown took direct control to India and Queen Victoria became the Empress of India. Why is the Indian Councils Act 1861 important? The Indian Council Act 1861 is important because it introduced Indians into the legislative councils for the first time. What system of government was introduced by the Indian Councils Act 1861? The act introduced a system of governance that include both legislative and executive functions. What was the role of Viceroy under the Indian Council Act 1861? The Viceroy acted as the representative of the British Crown in India. How were Indians included in the Legislative Council under the Act of 1861? Indians were included in the Legislative Council through nomination instead of elections. What were the main features of Indian Council Act 1892? The Act expanded the legislative councils and allowed members to discuss the budget and criticize government policies. Why was the Indian Council Act 1892 significant? The act was significant because it increased Indian participation in governance. What is another name of the Indian Council Act 1909? The Indian Council Act 1909 is also called the Minto-Morley Reforms. What was the most important feature of the Indian Council Act 1909? The most important feature was the introduction of the separate electorate for Muslims. Why was the separate electorate important for Muslims? The separate electorate allowed Muslims to elect their own representatives separately. Why was the All India Muslim League formed in 1906? The All India Muslim League was formed to protect the political rights and interests of Muslims. What was the Government of India Act 1919 is also called the Government of India Act 1919 was also known as the Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms. What is meant by diarchy? Diarchy was a system in which provincial powers were divided between elected ministers and British executive councillors. What major change was introduced by the Government of India Act? The Act introduced bicameral legislature at the centre. What was the purpose of the Government of India Act 1935? The purpose of the Act was to establish a federal system and grant provincial autonomy in India. What is provincial autonomy? Provincial autonomy means provinces were given authority to run their own governments. Which new system was introduced under the Government of India Act 1935? The parliamentary system was introduced in the provinces under the Act of 1935. What were the three lists introduced in Government of India Act 1935? The three lists were the Federal List, Provincial List and Concurrent List. Why is the Government of India Act 1935 important? The Act is important because it laid the foundation for constitutional development in subcontinent. What was the Cabinet Mission Plan 1946? The Cabinet Mission Plan was the British government's final attempt to keep India united. Why did the Cabinet Mission Plan fail? The Cabinet Mission Plan failed because Congress and Muslim League could not agree on power sharing. What was the Indian Independence Act 1947? The Indian Independence Act 1947 was the law passed by the British Parliament to divide India into Pakistan and India. When was the Indian Independence Act passed? The Indian Independence Act received royal assent on 18th July 1947. What powers were given to Pakistan and India under the Independence Act? Both Pakistan and India were granted full legislative powers and independent dominions. When did Pakistan come into existence? Pakistan came into existence on 14th August 1947. Who became the first Governor General of Pakistan? Muhammad Ali Jinnah became the first Governor General of Pakistan. When was Muhammad Ali Jinnah elected President of the Constituent Assembly? Muhammad Ali Jinnah was elected President of the Constituent Assembly on 11 August 1947. What was the purpose of constitutional reforms in India? The purpose of constitutional reforms was to develop a system of governance and political representation in India. How did constitutional movements help the Muslims of India? Constitutional movements helped Muslims secure political rights and separate representation in India. Why is leadership important in a movement? Leadership is important because leaders guide, inspire, and organize people to achieve common goals. What is leadership? Leadership is a process of influencing and motivating people to achieve specific objectives. What qualities make a successful leader? A successful leader possesses vision, confidence, communication skills, and the ability to inspire followers. Why are leaders and followers independent? Leaders and followers are independent because leaders need public support while followers need guidance and direction. Who are considered leaders in society? Leaders are individuals who organize people, distribute resources, and guide society toward progress. What are the three major types of leadership? The three major types of leaderships are political leadership, traditional leadership, and charismatic leadership. What is political leadership? Political leadership refers to leadership that guides people in political matters and governance. What is moral leadership? Moral leadership is a type of leader in which leaders influence people without legal authority. What is legal leadership? Legal leadership is leadership based on lawful authority given through elections and institutions. What is traditional leadership? Traditional leadership is a leadership based on customs, family background, land ownership, or cultural traditions. Who are traditional leaders in rural society? Traditional leaders in rural society include landlords, chaudharis, jagirdars, and nawabs. What is charismatic leadership? Charismatic leadership is a style of leadership in which leader influences people through personality, vision, and inspiration. Why is Quaid-e-Azam considered a charismatic leader? Muhammad Ali Jinnah is considered a charismatic leader because his personality and vision inspired Muslims to struggle for Pakistan. What are the four styles of leadership? The four styles of leaderships are authoritarian, participant, delegative, and oligarchic leadership. What is authoritarian leadership? Authoritarian leadership is a dictatorial style in which all power is concentrated in one leader. What is participant leadership? Participant leadership is a democratic style in which leaders are elected by the people and involve them in decision making. What is delegative leadership? Delegative leadership is a style in which leaders distribute authority and responsibilities to others. What is oligarchic leadership? Oligarchic leadership is a system in which a small group of powerful people controls the government. What is situational leadership? Situational leadership is leadership that emerges according to specific circumstances or situation. Why is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan considered a situational leader? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan is considered a situational leader because he guided Muslims after the War of Independence 1857. What is transactional leadership? Transactional leadership is leadership that creates changes through events and practical action. Why is Allama Iqbal associated with transactional leadership? Allama Muhammad Iqbal is associated with transactional leadership because he awakened Muslim nationalism through his philosophy. What is transformational leadership? Transformational leadership is a style that brings major political and social changes in society. Why is Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar called a transformational leader? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar is called a transformational leader because he politically awakened Muslim through the Khilafat movement. What is quiet leadership? Quiet leadership is a style in which leaders serve society silently through practical work and personal example. Why is Abdul Sattar Eid considered a quiet leader? Abdul Sattar Eid is considered a quiet leader because he served humanity selflessly without seeking power or fame. What is servant leadership? Servant leadership is a style in which leaders focus on serving people and improving society. Why is Shah Waliullah considered a servant leader? Shah Waliullah is considered a servant leader because he worked for the religious and social reforms of Muslims. What contribution did Shah Waliullah make for Muslims? Shah Waliullah translated the Holy Quran into Persian to help Muslims understand its teaching. Why is Ayub Khan known as an autocratic leader? Ayub Khan is known as autocratic leader because he established a dictatorial system with the support of bureaucracy and military. Who was Shah Waliullah? Shah Waliullah was a great Muslim scholar and reformer born in Delhi in 1703. Born in Delhi in 1703, who worked for the revival of Islam among Indian Muslims. Why is Shah Waliullah called founder of Muslim revivalism? Shah Waliullah is called the founder of Muslim revivalism because he awakened Muslims and encouraged them to follow the Islamic teaching. What was the main objective of Shah Waliullah? The main objective of Shah Waliullah was to reorganize Muslim society according to the principles of Islam. What was Madrasa Rahimia? Madrasa Rahimia was an Islamic educational institution established by Shah Waliullah in Delhi for religious and educational reforms. Why did Shah Waliullah establish a school in India? Shah Waliullah established a school to spread Islamic education and revive Islamic values among Muslims. What were the views of Shah Waliullah about Ijtihad? Shah Waliullah believed that Ijtihad was necessary to solve new problems according to Islamic teaching. What did Shah Waliullah say about economic inequality? Shah Waliullah believed that a nation could not progress unless the condition of the working class improved. How did Shah Waliullah help in preserving Muslim identity? He helped Muslims to maintain their separate Islamic culture, traditions, and beliefs. Who was Shah Abdul Aziz? Shah Abdul Aziz was the son of Shah Waliullah and an important Muslim scholar who continued his father's mission. Why did Shah Abdul Aziz declare India as Darul Harab? Shah Abdul Aziz declared India as Darul Harab because political power had passed from Muslims to British. What was the impact of Shah Abdul Aziz's fatwa? His fatwa motivated Muslims to struggle for freedom and restore Islamic rule in India. What role did Shah Abdul Aziz play in spreading Islamic teaching? Shah Abdul Aziz continued teaching and preaching Islam through educational and religious activities. Why did Shah Abdul Aziz translate the Holy Quran into Urdu? He translated the Holy Quran into Urdu so common Muslims could easily understand its teaching. What was the political objectives of Shah Abdul Aziz? The political objectives of Shah Abdul Aziz was to restore Muslim authority in India. Who was Syed Ahmad Shaheed? Syed Ahmad Shaheed was a Muslim religious leader and freedom fighter who led the Jihad movement against Sikh rule. What was the mission of Syed Ahmad Shaheed? The mission of Syed Ahmad Shaheed was to revive Islam and restore Muslim political power in the subcontinent. Who appointed Syed Ahmad Shaheed as leader of the movement? Shah Abdul Aziz appointed Syed Ahmad Shaheed as the leader of the liberation movement. Why did Syed Ahmad Shaheed start jihad against Sikh? He started jihad against the Sikhs to end Sikh rule in Punjab and establish Islamic governance. Where was Syed Ahmad Shaheed martyred? Syed Ahmad Shaheed was martyred in the Battle of Balakot in 1831. What were the cause of the failure of Syed Ahmad Shaheed's movement? The movement failed because of internal betrayal, lack of unity, and opposition from local chiefs. What contribution did Syed Ahmad Shaheed make to Muslim awakening? Syed Ahmad Shaheed inspired Muslims to struggle for Islamic revival and the political freedom. How did Shah Waliullah influence later Muslim leaders? Shah Waliullah's teachings inspired later Muslim scholars and leaders to work for Islamic revival and Muslim unity. What was the importance of Shah Abdul Aziz in the Pakistan movement? Shah Abdul Aziz strengthened Muslim political consciousness by emphasizing separate Muslim identity. Why are Shah Waliullah, Shah Abdul Aziz, and Sayyid Ahmad Shaheed important in history? They are important because they revived Islamic values and prepared the foundation for Muslim nationalism in the subcontinent. What lesson did Muslims learn from these reformers? Muslims learned the importance of Islamic unity, religious awareness, and political struggle for their right. Who was Sir Aga Khan? Sir Aga Khan III was a famous Muslim political and spiritual leader born in Karachi in 1877 and was the 48th Imam of Ismaili community. What was the real name of Sir Aga Khan III? The real name of Sir Aga Khan III was Sultan Muhammad Shah. Why is Sir Aga Khan III important in Muslim history? Sir Aga Khan III is important because he worked for Muslim unity, education, and political rights in the subcontinent. What was the role of Sir Aga Khan III in the Simla deputation? Sir Aga Khan III led the Simla deputation of 1906 and demanded separate electorates for Muslims. What was the main objectives of the similar deputation? The main objectives of the similar deputation was to secure political representation and separate electorates for Muslim. How did Sir Aga Khan III support Muslim education? Sir Aga Khan III encouraged Muslims to get modern education and supported the development of Aligarh Muslim University. What was the contribution of Sir Aga Khan III to Muslim League? Sir Aga Khan III played an important role in the establishment of the All India Muslim League in 1906. Why did Sir Aga Khan III support separate electorate? He supported separate electorates because Muslims feared domination by the Hindu majority. What were the views of Sir Aga Khan about the Hindu-Muslim unity? Initially, Sir Aga Khan tried to promote Hindu-Muslim unity, but later he realized the need for separate Muslim political identity. What was the importance of Sir Aga Khan in the Pakistan movement? Sir Aga Khan strengthened Muslim political awareness and supported the two nation theory. Who was Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar was a great Muslim leader, journalist, and freedom fighter associated with the Khilafat movement. What was the Khilafat movement? The Khilafat movement was a movement launched by Indian Muslims to protect the Ottoman Caliphate after World War One. Why did Indian Muslims started the Khilafat movement? Indian Muslims started the Khilafat movement because they wanted to protect the Turkish Caliph and Muslim unity. What role did Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar play in the Khilafat movement? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar led the Khilafat movement and encouraged Muslims to participate actively in politics. Who were the Ali brother? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar and Maulana Shaukat Ali were known as the Ali brothers. What was the aim of the Khilafat movement? The aim of Khilafat movement was to preserve the authority of the Ottoman Caliph. Why did the Khilafat movement fail? The Khilafat movement failed because the Ottoman Empire ended and Mustafa Kemal Ataturk abolished the Khilafat system. What was the impact of Khilafat movement on Indian Muslims? The Khilafat movement created political awareness and unity among Indian Muslims. How did Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar encourage political participation? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar motivated Muslims to take part in political and social movements for their right. What was the relation between the Khilafat movement and Pakistan movement? The Khilafat movement politically awakened Muslims and prepared the foundation for the Pakistan movement. What was the significance of the Ottoman Caliph for Indian Muslim? Indian Muslim considered the Ottoman Caliph as the religious leader of the Muslim Ummah. What strategy did Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar adopt against the British? He encouraged Muslims to boycott British goods and refuse cooperation with the British government. What was the servants of the Kaaba movement? The servant of the Kaaba was a society formed to support Turkey during World War One. How did Sir Aga Khan III promote Muslim unity? He respected both Shia and Sunni beliefs and worked to reduce sectarian differences among Muslims. Why is Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar remembered in history? Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar is remembered for his leadership in the Khilafat movement and his services for Muslim political awakening. Who was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a great Muslim reformer, educationist, and political leader who worked for the revival of Muslim in the subcontinent. When and where was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was born? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was born in Delhi in 1817 in a respected Muslim family. What was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's role in the War of 1857? Sir Syed Ahmad Khan explained the causes of the 1857 war and defended Muslims against British accusations of a rebellion. What was the main cause of the War of Independence 1857 according to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan? According to him, the main causes were unjust British policies, lack of representation, and dissatisfaction among soldiers and people. What was Syed Ahmad Khan's pamphlet about 1857 called? His famous pamphlet were Essay on the Causes of the Indian Revolt and Loyal Mohammedans of India. Why did Syed Ahmad Khan try to improve relations with the British? He tried to improve relations to protect Muslims from British hostility and restore their political and social position. What was Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College? It was an educational institution established by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan in 1875 at Aligarh for modern education of Muslims. What was the main objective of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's educational reforms? The main objective was to provide modern Western education along with Islamic values to Muslim youth. What was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's view about education? He believed Muslims should learn English, science, and modern knowledge while maintaining Islamic beliefs. देखिए शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस के अंदर तो मैंने बता दी है बहुत सारी बातें, ठीक है, लेकिन इन तमाम शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस को आप जमा करेंगे जैसे सर सैयद के बारे में जितने शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको अगर आप जमा करेंगे तो ये एक आपका लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन का आंसर बन जाएगा, ठीक है। तो ये जो मेरी वीडियो है ना ये सिर्फ आपको शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन के लिए नहीं प्रिपेयर करी, आपको लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन के लिए भी प्रिपेयर करी है, लेकिन आपने इसको सुनना समझना तवज्जो से है और जो इसमें इवेंट्स हैं, जो डेट्स हैं, जो नाम है उनको याद रखना है, ठीक है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। What is Tahdib al-Akhlaq? Tahdib al-Akhlaq was a journal started by Sir Syed to promote social reforms and good moral values among Muslims. What were Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's political ideas? He advised Muslims to avoid active politics, maintain good relations with the British, and not join the Congress. Why did Sir Syed advise Muslims to stay away from politics? He believed Muslims were not politically strong at that time and should focus on education and social development. What was the Aligarh Movement? Aligarh Movement was a reform movement started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan to improve education and social status of Muslims. What was the main aim of the Aligarh Movement? The main aim was to educate Muslims to create political and social awareness among them. Why was Aligarh important for Muslims? Aligarh became a center of Muslim political, educational, and social revival in the subcontinent. What role did Aligarh Muslim University play? Aligarh Muslim University played a key role in spreading modern education and Muslim political awareness. How did Aligarh Movement help Muslim unity? It united Muslim different regions on one platform with a common identity and purpose. What was Sir Syed's view about religion and science? Sir Syed believed that there is no contradiction between Islam and science and both support truth. Why is Sir Syed called Muslim reformer? He is called a reformer because he introduced educational, social, and political reforms for Muslim, what was Sir Syed's contribution to Muslim nationalism? He led the foundation of Muslim nationalism by creating awareness of separate Muslim identity. How did Aligarh Movement contribute to Pakistan movement? It created political awareness among Muslims, which later became the base of Pakistan movement. What was the importance of Muhammadan Education Conference? It promoted modern education and helped spread educational reforms among Indian Muslims. What was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's vision for Muslim? His vision was to make Muslim educated, strong, and capable of competing with other communities. Why is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan important in history? He is important because he revived Muslim after 1857 and led the foundation of modern Muslim political thinking. Who was Allama Muhammad Iqbal? Allama Muhammad Iqbal was a poet, philosopher, and politician who is widely regarded as the ideological inspiration behind the Pakistan movement. He played a key role in awakening the Muslim consciousness in subcontinent. When and where was Allama Iqbal born? Allama Muhammad Iqbal was born on 9th November 1877 in Sialkot, British India. What is the importance of Allahabad Address 1930? In the Allahabad Address, Allama Iqbal proposed the idea of a separate Muslim state in northwest India, which later became the ideological foundation of Pakistan. What is the concept of Khudi by Allama Iqbal? Khudi means selfhood or self-realization. Allama Iqbal emphasized that Muslims should develop self-respect, confidence, and spiritual strength to achieve progress. What did Allama Iqbal say about democracy in India? Allama Iqbal rejected the European concept of democracy in India because he believed that the majority minority system could not protect Muslim rights in Hindu majority society. What was Allama Iqbal's contribution to the Pakistan movement? Allama Iqbal gave the ideological foundation of Pakistan by presenting the idea of a separate Muslim state and awakening Muslims politically and spiritually. When and where was Quaid-e-Azam born? Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born on 25th December 1876 in Karachi, British India. Why is Quaid-e-Azam called the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity? Quaid-e-Azam is called the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity because he initially worked to reduce tension between Hindu and Muslim, especially through the Lucknow Pact of 1916. What is the Lucknow Pact 1916? The Lucknow Pact was an agreement between Congress and Muslim League that aimed to ensure political cooperation and safeguard Muslim rights in India. What are Quaid-e-Azam's 14 points? The Quaid-e-Azam 14 points were constitutional demands presented in response to the Nehru report to protect Muslim political right. What was Quaid-e-Azam's role in the Lahore Resolution 1940? Quaid-e-Azam strongly supported the Lahore Resolution, which demanded a separate independent state for Muslims in subcontinent. What was Quaid-e-Azam's main political goal after 1937? After 1937, Quaid-e-Azam focused on securing Muslim rights and gradually shifted towards the demand for a separate Muslim state, that is Pakistan. What is Lahore Resolution 1940? The Resolution 1940 was a historic demand passed by All India Muslim League for a separate Muslim state. It was passed on 24 March 1940 at Minto Park, Lahore. It later became the foundation of Pakistan. Where and when was the Lahore Resolution passed? The Lahore Resolution was passed on 24th March 1940 at Minto Park, Lahore. This place is now known as Minar-e-Pakistan. It is landmark in Pakistan history. What was the background of the Lahore Resolution? The background of Lahore Resolution was the failure of Hindu-Muslim reconciliation efforts. Quaid-e-Azam's talks with Congress leaders failed between 1935 and 1939. The Congress government policies also increased Muslim dissatisfaction. This was the background for the Lahore Resolution. Why did Quaid-e-Azam demand a separate state? Quaid-e-Azam demanded a separate state because Congress refused to accept Muslim political rights. He realized that Muslims could not live safely under Hindu majority rule. Therefore, he concluded that separate homeland was necessary. What was Gandhi's Satyagraha 1940? Gandhi's Satyagraha 1940 was a non-violent protest movement against British rule. However, it failed to achieve its political objectives. It resulted in the arrest of many Congress leaders. What was the Cripps Mission 1942? The Cripps Mission 1942 was sent to Britain to gain Indian cooperation during World War II. It proposed constitution reforms after the war. However, it failed due to disagreement between Congress and Muslim League. Why did the Cripps Mission fail? The Cripps Mission failed because Congress rejected the proposal and demanded immediate independence. The Muslim League also rejected it as it did not clearly support Pakistan. Therefore, no agreement was reached. What was the Cabinet Mission Plan 1946? The Cabinet Mission Plan 1946 was a British effort to transfer power and solve the Indian constitutional problems. It proposed a united India with a federal system. However, it failed due to political differences. Why did the Cabinet Mission fail? The Cabinet Mission failed because Congress and Muslim League disagreed on future constitution of India. Muslim demanded a separate state while Congress wanted a united India. This conflict made the plan unsuccessful. What was the importance of the Lahore Resolution? The Lahore Resolution was important because it officially demanded a separate Muslim homeland. It united Muslims under the leadership of Quaid-e-Azam. It became the basis of the Pakistan movement. What was the 3rd June Plan 1947? The 3rd June Plan 1947 was announced by Lord Mountbatten for the partition of India. It allowed Punjab and Bengal to decide their future. It led directly to the creation of Pakistan. What is the Indian Independence Act 1947? The Indian Independence Act 1947 was a law passed by the British Parliament to divide India into two independent states. It created India and Pakistan as separate dominions. It came into effect on 14 to 15 August 1947. What are the main features of the Indian Independence Act 1947? The main feature of the act were the division of India into two dominions and full legislative authority to both states. The British government ended its control over India. Both countries became independent dominions. When did Pakistan come into existence? Pakistan came into existence on 14th August 1947 as a separate independent state. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah became its first Governor General. It was a result of the Pakistan movement. What was the importance of Lahore Resolution in Pakistan movement? The Lahore Resolution gave a clear direction to Muslim struggle for independence. It united Muslims under one demand of a separate state. It is considered the foundation of Pakistan. ठीक है जी, इसके साथ ही हमारा पार्ट 2 भी पाक 302 के इम्पोर्टेंट शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स का यहाँ मुकम्मल होता है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि ये आपके लिए बहुत यूजफुल रहेंगे। थोड़ी लेंदी हैं ये वीडियोस, लेकिन अगर आप वन गो में ना देख सकें, इसको पार्ट्स में करके देखें, लेकिन इनको जरूर अटेंड करें। इनसे ही आपका जो मिड टर्म है वो काफी हद तक अच्छा जो है वो अटेम्प्ट इंशाल्लाह ताला हो जाएगा। ठीक है, चैनल पे नए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करना हरगिज ना भूलिएगा, ताकि मेरे तमाम इंपॉर्टेंट लेक्चर्स, इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियोस इसी तरह आप तक पहुंचती रहें। और इन वीडियोस को अपने फेलो स्टूडेंट तक वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी के डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स पे, फोरम पे जरूर शेयर करें, ताकि आपकी तरह दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स भी इन वीडियोस से अपने मिड टर्म की अच्छी तैयारी कर सकें। कोई सवाल हो आपका, या अगर आप कोई फीडबैक देना चाहें तो जरूर मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा। इंशाअल्लाह ताला मैं अपने नेक्स्ट वीडियो के साथ जल्द हाजिर होंगी। तब तक आप सब अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा। अल्लाह हाफिज।